What's up, FA Nation? It is NFL Sunday, and we are here for all your fantasy football questions, start sits. We got weather issues, we got injuries, and surprise, it's not Howard Bender. It is my other favorite co-host, Adam Ronis, with me on Sunday morning. Adam, how's your Sunday going so far?
Well, definitely a different Sunday here. Called in last minute to fill in for Howard. So, but yeah, we have weather issues again. We went through this a few weeks ago, but Houston and Cleveland looks like we got 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So it looks pretty bad there. We saw this in Cleveland a few weeks ago where we had that, I think it was 16-6 game between Cleveland and Oakland, and all they did was run the football. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh winds from 15 to 25, gusts up to 50 miles per hour. And Jacksonville and Green Bay pretty similar to Pittsburgh as well. So, I mean, really what you want to do here is if you can avoid the kicking game, you're going to downgrade the passing game, but don't go crazy. Don't bench Aaron Rodgers for Nick Foles. We're not going to go that drastic, you know? No, but people sometimes do that. So if you have Aaron Rodgers, you're probably going to still play him. Deshaun Watson, I could see, I did move him down, like Jared Goff. That's a viable pivot. If, Goff's in a good spot against Seattle, who has allowed the most fantasy points to quarterback. So that situation, I could see making a change there. And, with the receivers, too, we're going to downgrade them a little bit. So, again, just don't go from a really good player to a crappy player. If you have an alternative that's pretty close, then you can make the switch.
And one player I want to ask you about that we're all kind of waiting on because of the Monday night game, and that's Allen Robinson. I know I have a lot of shares of Allen Robinson. I want to wait for him. It's such a juicy matchup versus the Minnesota secondary. And he was limited in practice. It's not that he was out of practice. And of course, now we know we have no David Montgomery. So it just makes me feel like, this could be a really big game for Allen Robinson. How are you playing Allen Robinson this weekend?
Yeah, I'm waiting on him, and I have him in a lot of leagues. And in a couple of them, I don't have a backup, which is risky, but I think he's going to play. There's been no indication that he's going to sit, and he was in practice, even though he was limited. So usually when you're listed as questionable, you tend to play. But if you have the ability to pick up an Anthony Miller, Darnell Mooney, put them on your bench this way, if Robinson somehow sits last minute, you have a backup option to pivot to. You can do that. And those guys might be available in some leagues.
And even further, if you guys need even more insurance, I would suggest putting Allen Robinson in your flex spot, if that's possible, if you don't need to play a running back there. So you also have the option of Cordero Patterson or, I don't know, maybe even Lamar Miller. I mean, if it's really desperate. But I agree. I tend to want to wait on Allen Robinson if I can. So we have a very interesting thing today. Only 5 games at the 1 o'clock slot and 6 games at the later slot. 6 games at the later slot. Is this because of the Masters? What's up with that?
Is. Yeah, I had tweeted this out. I had looked ahead last Sunday, and I was like, wow, this is odd. And then someone, Chris Vaccaro, who he's like, yeah, it's because of the Masters. So I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense because I don't think there's any games on CBS at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're all Fox games, and that's due to the Masters being on CBS. So people complain that we usually get a split of 9-3. Sometimes we only get 2. Now we got the opposite, 5 early, 6 late. But it does complicate things for fantasy because one of the things that we're waiting on is whether Kenyon Drake is going to play.
Right.
And we're not going to know that until about 2:30 p.m. Eastern because that's a 4:05 p.m. Eastern game. I will say this. I have Drake and Edmonds in 3 leagues together. And right now I'm leaning towards playing Edmonds. And it's definitely risky, but Drake is coming off an injury. It's a high ankle. They said they're going to test him. And the one thing we've seen with Edmonds, I know he wasn't great last week, but we've seen him put up double-digit points in PPR with Drake on the field. He's been the pass-catching back. This is expected to be a shootout, game total of 56.5. So I'm taking Edmonds over Drake if I'm deciding between the two.
Yeah, if you can't wait and you have the 2, I would say you definitely start Edmonds. Edmonds is going to play no matter what. We don't know if Kenyon Drake's going to play no matter what. And we know that Edmonds can still be productive even if Kenyon Drake plays. And Kenyon Drake, he just hasn't been that great this year. He's constantly in and out of a boot. If he has a high ankle sprain, I'm not sure I feel that comfortable playing him anyway. The fact that it's game time doesn't make me feel great. Luckily, I don't have to make this decision, but I would say if you can't wait for the news, if you have other things going on today, just put Edmonds in the spot and just try to release it, let it go, and don't freak out about it. I think you'll probably still be in an okay position. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. That's where we're starting today. If you guys want to follow us, we got a lot of questions. Let's do it. Good morning. Good morning, Joey. PPR factoring in the weather. Do you fade Fuller? He has Fuller, Boyd, T. Higgins, Jefferson, and Myers. He needs 3.
In this case, you probably can. So Boyd is 1. I go Boyd.
Jefferson.
So, yeah, Boyd, Jefferson. So the key is, do I want to play 2 Bengals against Pittsburgh? There's also some weather there. So you know what? I would play Fuller over Higgins.
And you would play Fuller over Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, there's also some weather in was that game in Baltimore or New England tonight? I think it's Baltimore, right?
It's in New England.
New England, yeah. I did see there's some weather there too. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, if you want to play it safe, you could go Jacoby Myers. Baltimore's vulnerable against the slot, and we've seen he's been the guy. But I think I'd go Fuller there.
Okay. Need 1 PPR. Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, or Marvin Jones?
It's between Deontay and Kirk, and I'm going to go Deontay Johnson. Ben's been throwing a lot of short passes anyway, and the Bengals' top 4 cornerbacks are all out. So even with some wind, short passes, right? And Deontay Johnson could get 5, 6, 7 catches on short passes and then pile it up, and you hope he finds the end zone. So Deontay Johnson, when he's been on the field and healthy, he's been the go-to guy for Ben. So give me Deontay Johnson there.
I like Deontay Johnson this week. Tunyon or Akins?
Oh, Tunyon is banged up. Man, this is tough because both of them are not in good spots with the weather. But then again, I'm gonna go Akins.
I'm gonna go Akins too. I agree, Akins.
I hope he finds the end zone.
Big Ben, Burrow, or Wentz? I'm going Wentz here.
I'm going Wentz here. Yeah, best weather of them. He's played well. He's running the football. Now, the Giants' defense is a lot better than people think. I even am streaming them in a league this week. Wentz has been turning it over a little bit, but full array of weapons. Even Alshon Jeffrey is back. Not that I care, but, he will get some time. Jalen Reagor, Dallas Goedert. So give me Carson Wentz there.
Okay, good morning, Punch. I think maybe you've already started day drinking because you're wondering if you can start Goff over Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Goff's got this is where matchups come a little too much into focus. Yes, Goff's got a great matchup. Kyler Murray is matchup proof. Kyler Murray is in your lineup every single week. I don't care who he plays. He's got the ridiculous floor for rushing. So Kyler Murray, no question about it.
Ann says, good morning, guys. I need 1 running back and 2 flex in PPR. Duke, Swift, Shepard, Beasley, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh, boy. Duke, Swift, and who is it? Beasley, MVS, and
Shepard.
Sterling Shepard? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to go Sterling Shepard there.
Me too. Duke, Swift, Shepard is how I would go. Flex, need 1. McKinnon, Curtis Samuel, Jalen Reagor, or Phillip Lindsay in a 12-team PPR. I want to say McKinnon.
Yeah, I'm going to say McKinnon. Look, I know we've kind of been burned a couple times, but they've had 10 days off now because they played Thursday night. I know there was a report that, I don't know if it was Shannon, who said McKinnon's going to get a lot of work. So our automatic reaction is, don't listen to him. He's lying. It could be a lot of hasty, but this is also a game that I expect him to play from behind, and McKinnon's more pass-catching back. So I'm going to go McKinnon and cross my fingers.
Agree. And I'm starting McKinnon in my Nick Mullins lineup. PPR, Devontae Parker, T. Higgins, Josh Reynolds, and Gio need 2. I assume that's Gio Bernard.
Yeah, Gio and Devontae Parker. Parker's in a good spot now. We saw this last year with no Preston Williams. He got peppered with a ton of targets. And it's not the ideal matchup here against the Chargers, who've been defensive backs have been pretty good. But Casey Hayward's not that shutdown corner anymore. So, yeah, Devontae Parker for me. He's in a good spot this week, and someone could even consider in DFS.
Please rank in PPR: John Brown, Cole Beasley, Manny Sanders, Jarvis Landry.
It's Brown one. Yeah, it's Brown one. It would have been Landry, but we have to downgrade him a little bit with the weather. Again, he's another guy that can catch short passes and pile them up. So I'm gonna go Brown one. It's a revenge game, if you like that. He's healthy. It's the should be the shootout of the week. So Brown one, Landry two, and who were the other ones?
Cole Beasley and Manny Sanders.
Then Sanders three, Beasley four.
I agree. Rank Gronk, Cook, Fant, Hooper, PPR.
We'll go Fant, Gronk, Hooper, and who was the last one?
Cook.
Yeah, and then Cook four. Yeah, I mean, I was liking Hooper a lot, but again, the weather is a little bit of a concern. But he can catch short passes. You gotta wonder though. You know, we saw Cleveland in that game against Las Vegas a couple weeks ago. They didn't have a lot of possessions because Vegas controlled the pace of play. But with Nick Chubb back, you got to figure they're going to run a ton. They're not going to – I mean, I was streaming Baker. I had to drop him because I just don't trust him at all. It was a good matchup on paper, but I just don't see them throwing much in this game.
Yep, I agree. By the way, guys, if you have any rankings questions Adam literally does our rankings on Fantasy Alarm. They're actually Adam's rankings. So you can always go double check there in the rankings and you'll get Adam's exact opinion. He updates them up to the minute. He already got up this morning and changed Jarvis Landry and changed Deshaun Watson based on the weather. So you do have updated information there. Good morning. Full PPR need one flex. DJ Dallas, Sterling Shepard, Damian Harris, or AJ Green? One.
Probably go DJ Dallas here. He's kind of split it with Travis Homer. We know that Carson and Carlos Hyde are out. Homer did play more snaps last week, but the touches were even. But you have to think that if they get near the end zone, that Dallas has a good opportunity to score. So another game that we expect points to be put up. So I'll go with DJ Dallas there.
Yeah, I would say, though, I posted this yesterday on my Twitter account. Though Homer played more snaps last week, DJ Dallas had 3 red zone rushing attempts and 1 touchdown. Homer had 1 attempt and no touchdown. So, yes, he played more snaps, but as far as actually touching the ball, they were actually even. And DJ Dallas's touches were more valuable. It was obviously a very small sample size, so don't take that to the bank. But I feel like if you're debating between the two, that Dallas is the one. Okay, PPR, Duke Johnson or Ronald Jones? Duke.
Yes.
John Brown, Nelson Aguilar, Randall Cobb, or Josh Reynolds?
John Brown.
What flex between Brown, Rager, or Lindsey?
This is PPR, I'm assuming.
Full PPR, yes.
I'm going to go Brown. Look, I think Lindsey's in an interesting spot. I think he's run better than Melvin Gordon, but they still use Melvin Gordon a lot. Melvin Gordon's a better pass blocking running back, and maybe one of these weeks we see Lindsey overtake him because again he's been better, but I'll pass on him in this spot.
Good morning. On FanDuel with Murray, should I pair Kirk, Hopkins, or both? Well, I think that depends on how you want to spend your money, right, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously. I think you could play both if you want. If it's a GPP, if it's cash, I would not play both. I don't think you need to stack in cash.
Yeah, and I mean, I would kind of lean towards Kirk because Hopkins' price tag is super high. And then, you can even insert like a Cooper Kupp or a Robert Woods in there, or even a John Brown, who's only 5,600 on FanDuel and maybe get a little bit more value. If you play Hopkins, I love Hopkins, but it's just a matter of whether or not he'll return the value with Kirk there too. So, it's just how you want to spend your money. Jen, I'm changing my name to Day Drinking Raiders instead of Bedway Raiders. Howard's here in spirit. That's right. Oh, yes, I'm getting you all day drinking now. Congratulations, y'all. Hit up the Bellinis. Landry, Chark, Robbie Anderson, or Godwin need 2.5 PPR.
Okay, so it's Landry. What is it? Landry, Chark,
Anderson, Godwin.
I'll go Anderson and Chark.
Ooh, playing Chark in the wind over Landry in the wind and Chris Godwin. How things have changed, Tampa.
It's close between Chark and Godwin, but Godwin still has competition for targets, and Chark is the number one. So yeah, we're not going to see the 73-yard bomb for a touchdown like we saw last week, but you just hope that Chark can pile up the targets.
Someone just commented, I love that you both use Cowboys Stadium as a backdrop. Love the show. Oops, I think I was supposed to put the fantasy alarm backdrop, but oh well, go Cowboys. Even though we're on a bye.
Yeah, so they can't lose this week.
They cannot lose this week. That's true. 1 point PPR, need 3 of these. Thielen, Judy, Claypool, or Jacoby Myers?
Thielen is in. Who were the other 3?
Judy, Claypool, and Myers.
And I will go Judy and Claypool.
Me too. Gallman or Fournette? I might go Gallman.
Fournette for me. If it's is it
because of the Carolina?
Is
it doesn't
PPR?
Say.
Yeah, I'd go Fournette. You know, Gallman. See, Gallman has scored in 3 straight games, but if you look, the yards aren't great, and he's not heavily involved in the passing game, and the Eagles are very good against the run. So if he doesn't find the end zone, it's not going to be a big day. Whereas I think this Tampa Bay offense bounces back. We've seen Fournette play more than Ronald Jones. Fournette's going to be in there in passing situations, catch some passes, good shot to score a touchdown. So I have Fournette ranked ahead of Ronald Jones right now, too. So I'm going to go Fournette.
Okay. I'm staying on YouTube because we are crowded here. So you guys come on over here if you need. Need a flex. McKinnon, T. Higgins, Gus Edwards, 12-team PPR.
I'm going to go McKinnon. I know there's definitely some risk, but he did get heavy volume last game, and they're still shorthanded with no Tevin Coleman, no Raheem Mostert. So the extra days of rest should help those tired legs that he reportedly had a few weeks ago.
PPR, Judy, Godwin, Parker, Anderson, or Kupp. Need 4.
Oh, okay.
So
Kupp is in. Parker's in, Judy's in, and who are the other 2?
Godwin or Anderson?
Oh, forget Anderson. It. Judy's out. Judy, you got to play Robbie Anderson, and Godwin, I think, is the top option for Tampa Bay. So I know Judy's playing very well. He's got a good matchup. It's close. It's tough to sit any of these guys. I think they're all top 24, but Judy would be the guy I leave out.
Especially maybe because of his shoulder thing, if that makes you feel a little more, okay about it. But I got to ask, what are you expecting out of Tom Brady this week? I mean, I feel like he could have a really good game because he's had a few bad ones in a row. And I think, he could be. I mean, everyone's talking about them being stuck on the tarmac for 5 hours. But what do you think about Tom Brady?
Big bounce back. He's pissed off. And that was just an embarrassing performance in a primetime spot. So I see them bouncing back in a big way. We know the Panthers aren't great defensively. So I see a big bounce back spot for Brady this week.
Tyler Boyd or Devontae Parker?
That is tough. I'm going to go Boyd, but it's close. Boyd's been, you can attack Pittsburgh in the slot. And again, weather is a little concern there, but short passes from Burrow to Boyd, I think, could work. So I'm going to go with Boyd.
I agree. Swift or Edmonds in a half-point PPR? I'm going Edmonds.
I think you have to go Swift here because Drake could be back. Now, wait. Detroit is an early game, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
I would go Swift. He got 13 carries last week. I know we still have to deal with the idiotic nature of Adrian Peterson being in there. It drives me nuts. I don't know why they do it, but I think you have to go Swift here just because Drake could be back, and that's going to cut into the workload of Edmonds. Again, I would play Edmonds over Drake if I'm choosing between the 2, but that game's at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. In Swift, we want him to be more involved, but 13 carries last week was promising, and I think Detroit could play from behind in this game. I think Washington's going to play well here, so that could mean more Swift on the field to catch some passes. So I will go with Swift.
All right, we're split on this. I'm going with Edmonds because I think he's more likely to get a bigger share, and I just don't trust that they're going to use Swift. And Swift can go off at any time. There's no question about it, but I don't trust them, and I feel uncomfortable in the Washington defense. I kind of like so, but you probably whatever. Both of them are great. Go with Adam. He's smarter. Deshaun or Lamar?
I gotta go Lamar right now because of this weather. It sucks, But we saw this a few weeks ago. So I hate sitting Deshaun Watson. But Lamar Jackson at least gives you that huge floor with the running. And the Patriots defense is not what it once was. They just have no pass rush right now. It looks like Gilmore will play, but I mean, the Jets were chewing up yards last week. So I'll go with Lamar here just due to the weather.
Perfect. And besides, like, I mean, how bad of a situation is it when you have to sit Deshaun Watson for Lamar?
Yeah.
It's not like you're asking us to sit for like.
I don't know how you have
like
both
you
those
said.
quarterbacks too.
So congratulations, by the way, for having both of them. Full point PPR, Kareem Hunt or Mike Davis? Ooh.
Yeah, this is actually pretty close. I will go Mike. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna
I go
Mike.
Hunt.
What?
I'm going Hunt.
I'm going to go Mike Davis, but it's close. Okay. It really is. I mean, I think the weather factor is really good for Hunt because they're going to run a ton. It could be Chubb, 20 carries, Hunt, 12. So, but Davis has the backfield to himself. And even though it's difficult to run on Tampa, we saw him have 8 receptions against them earlier this year. And that was the game McCaffrey left with injury. So he didn't even play the whole game. So I expect Davis to really be involved in the pass game quite a bit, as I do expect them to play from behind. But that is very close. I would want to play both, but he must have good running backs if he has to sit one of them.
Yeah. 1 point PPR need 2. Shepard, Devontae Parker, or Emmanuel Sanders?
Parker and Shepard.
Parker and Shepard, I agree. PPR, Duke Johnson or DJ Chark? I think you got to go Duke Johnson here, even though it's gross.
Yeah, Duke Johnson for the volume. I mean, you saw last week he didn't do much on the ground, but he found the end zone. He's probably going to get a ton of work today because of the weather. They might run a little bit more. So you're going for the volume here. With Chark, you just don't know how many targets he's going to get. I expect a lot, but you never know. The weather could slow things down. So Duke Johnson.
Gallman or Fournette in PPR?
Fournette for me. I know Gallman's the lead back, but they've been using Alfred Morris, Deion Lewis mixed in a little bit. Gallman doesn't catch any passes. I think he has 2 receptions over the last couple of weeks. And Fournette, they seem to be favoring him a little bit more over Ronald Jones, and we know he's in there on passing down. So give me Leonard Fournette.
Okay. Half point PPR. Need 2 of 5. We need 2. Darrell Henderson, J.D. McKissick, Gio Bernard, Gus Edwards, or DJ Dallas?
I will go with Gio Bernard. And who is one of the early ones you asked about?
Darrell Henderson, J.D. McKissick.
I'd go with Henderson if it's a half point PPR. A little risky, obviously. Seattle's better against the run. But, he could get a goal line carry and score a touchdown. So I'll go with Henderson.
Okay. Need 2 in PPR. Gio, McKissick, Fournette, Henderson. PPR, you got to go Gio and McKissick, I think.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, Gio and McKissick. McKissick's been in there pretty much all passing downs, third downs. So he's kind of game script dependent. You kind of need him, Washington, to either be from behind or be competitive. But I expect this game to be close. I don't see a blowout on either side. So I think there'll be enough for McKissick to pile up some catches. So I'll go McKissick.
Half point PPR, Edmonds, Dallas, or Josh Reynolds?
I'll go with Edmonds in PPR.
Half point PPR. Does that change anything?
I'll still go Edmonds.
Okay.
I think Reynolds is a deep sleeper, and I like him on DK at 3,500.
I like him for FanDuel play as well. I have him in there, but I wouldn't necessarily start him in my seasonals unless I were up against a wall, to be honest. Watson or Goff?
Goff. See, this is an example that I brought up at the top where if you have Watson, you don't want to go crazy and be like, oh, I can't play him, so I'm going to play Nick Foles over him. We don't need to go to that extreme. But if you have Watson and you have Goff, like, this is the perfect week to use Goff. Now, would I be surprised if Goff flopped? No, because it could happen against Seattle. Now, the one thing is with Seattle is they're terrible at defending the pass. But if they blitz Goff, because they blitzed a lot last week, Goff gets flustered by the blitz. But still, we're playing a matchup here. Seattle's allowed the most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. So that's a good pivot. So I would go Goff.
Would you play Goff or Big Ben?
I would play Goff here too. Again, some weather issues in Pittsburgh, which sucks for Ben because the Bengals' top 4 cornerbacks are all out. It looks like a good matchup. But Ben has not really been impressive this year. He's thrown a lot of short passes. He hasn't taken shots deep. So, Ben can give you 250 and 2 to 3 touchdowns. But
right.
I'll take the matchup in better weather with Goff.
Yeah, and Goff had 60 pass attempts in his last game, which was a loss, 20 of which went to Cooper Kupp. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're starting your lineups this week, that even though he lost, he has thrown for 300 or more yards, I think 3 games already this season. So Goff isn't an exciting name, but with this matchup, he suddenly becomes more exciting. Need one in PPR, Gio, Balaj, or McKissick?
Gio.
One sits in a standard league. Which one? Juju, Boyd, or Deontay Johnson? Ooh. I think it's Juju.
I agree. It's tough. I mean, those Pittsburgh receivers trying to figure him out, it's very difficult. But Deontay seems to get the most targets when he is active. So I don't think you want to play both from the same team, especially with the weather. And Boyd.
Yeah, you got to play Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd's got a favorable matchup in the slot against Pittsburgh. So, yeah, Boyd and Deontay.
Edmonds or Gio? I'm going Gio.
I'm going Gio, yeah. Just the more volume. We just don't know about Kenyon Drake. It sounds like he's going to play. I still think Edmonds is a fine play. But Gio looks to get actually, you could kind of wait that out because they both play at after 4. So I would say this. If Drake is out, you're playing Edmonds. If Drake's in, you're playing Gio.
I like that. PPR flex need 2. Fulgham, Higgins, Shepard, or DJ Dallas? Fulgham.
Fulgham is definitely in. And then it was
Higgins, Shepard, or DJ Dallas. I'm assuming it's T. Higgins.
Okay. I'll go T. Higgins.
I'm going Dallas. I'm just betting on the goal line on the touchdown, and that's why. And I know it's a PPR, but Higgins is lower on the target priority list. So may have missed it. PPR, Justin Jefferson or Landry?
I think it would have been Landry, but I think you got to go Jefferson now. It's a tough matchup though for him. The Bears have been pretty good defensively, but I would go Jefferson.
I need a running back off waivers in a 1-point PPR. Who's the best bet? Travis Homer, Josh Kelly, Ryan Nall, Cam Akers, or Latavius Murray?
They all have some risk, but I would probably go Homer here. If the game script turns negative, he's on the field more in pass catching situations. Now, the Seahawks are underdogs only by 2.5, but I would go Homer. I mean, Kelly, I just don't know what the Chargers are going to do. I have Tremaine Pope ranked the highest of the Chargers running backs, but it's a pure gut guess because I thought Pope looked really good before he had the concussion. So I have to think he's ahead of Balaj, who they called back up from the practice squad with Justin Jackson on injured reserve. Kelly played more snaps and ran more routes than Balaj last week, but Balaj had more touches. So that backfield is risky. At least with Homer, I know if they are in passing mode, he's going to be on the field. So I take the shot with Homer.
All right, Homer's the answer. PPR need 2 wide receivers and a flex. Deontay Johnson, Travis Fulgham, Fuller, Boyd, and Bernard.
Oh, boy. All right. We go Gio, and you said Boyd?
Boyd, Fuller, Fulgham, and Deontay Johnson.
And 2?
So we need 2 wide receiver and a flex.
All right, so Gio, 3. Boyd, Deontay.
Gio, Boyd, Deontay. Okay. Ayuk, Malcolm Brown, AJ Green, Gio, or Judy. Start 2.
Ayuk and Gio.
Gio and Ayuk.
Yep.
Yes. Need 1.5 points if A-Rob is out, well, you can't really wait to see if A-Rob is out, unfortunately, Richard, because he's got the Monday night game. So you got to decide now. First thing I would say is go check your waiver wire. We talked about this in the beginning to see if there's someone else from the Chicago or Minnesota team available that you could use, such as Darnell Miller Darnell Mooney or Anthony Miller, and if you have room to make that pickup. Otherwise, here are his options: Gallman, Hollywood Brown, Jacoby Myers, or Rager. Would you start any of those, or would you wait on A-Rob if you could, Adam?
I would wait on A-Rob. Look, it's risky. You have to make this decision and feel comfortable with it. There are some people who don't want to take any risk, not wait. I'll tell you this, in my leagues, I'm waiting on Robinson, and it could backfire. I did this same thing Thursday when we did the live stream. Remember, we said I had options between Jonnu Smith to Hawkinson, and at that point, Hawkinson didn't practice on Thursday. I decided to wait it out, and it hasn't. We'll get the inactives in just a little bit. It's trending towards Hawkinson playing, so I took a risk because in a couple of those leagues I can't make any moves today. So I took the risk. It looks like it should work out, but I think Robinson's going to play. He's limited.
I do too.
He's questionable, so usually guys like that play. So I think.
This is a guy
is active. Just saw TJ Hawkinson is active.
Right. TJ Hawkinson is active. Again, remember, A-Rob is a guy who got cleared from concussion protocol like hours before his game last time and still started. He's a gamer. I think he's going to play too. However, should you decide not to do that, who's the answer? Gallman, Hollywood Brown, Jacoby Myers, or Jalen Rager?
It was PPR?
Half point.
I'll go Jacoby Myers.
Okay, Jacoby Myers. Mark Ingram or Melvin Gordon, PPR. I'm going to go Gordon.
He can't play Ingram. There was a report out, don't know if it's true, that the Ravens are going to give J.K. Dobbins the opportunity down the stretch here to be the guy. We all thought that, but there's no way I'm playing Mark Ingram. No way.
Bridgewater or Wentz?
Wentz. Yeah.
Ebron or Goddard?
Goddard.
1 point PPR. Goddard. McKinnon or Deontay Johnson? McKinnon.
This is PPR?
Doesn't say.
I'm going to go Deontay
Johnson. I assumed it was.
Deontay.
Okay, Deontay for Adam, McKinnon for me. I know it's risky. Bridgewater, Wentz, or Locke?
Wentz.
Yep. Cooks, Chark, or Jacoby Myers in a half-point PPR? Chark.
Wait, that was Brandon Cooks?
Uh-huh.
In a half-point PPR?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it was Brandon Cooks. Who were the others?
DJ Chark or Jacoby Myers?
I'm going to go Cooks.
You're going Cooks over Chark, even with the weather?
Yeah. Because they both are dealing with.
They both have crap weather. I just think that Cooks is more likely to be splitting with Fuller, whereas Chark's more the obvious alpha dog. Actually, you know who was second on the team in targets last week was Chris Conley. He had 9 or 8. I believe it was 8. And Keelan Cole only had 2, and Laviska Shenault's not there. So Chris Conley's kind of a sneaky play. If it weren't for the wind, I would say definitely.
I would agree with you, but yeah, the wind changes it because they're probably not going to be, even though I expect them to play from behind, they're probably not going to be able to pass as much as they want.
Right. Bridgewater, Wentz, or Locke?
Wentz.
We already answered this, didn't we? I need 2 PPR and 0.25 per rush. Chark, Brandon Cooks, T. Higgins, and Darrell Henderson.
I would go Henderson and Cooks.
Henderson and Cooks. PPR, need 1 from Fournette, Henderson, Gordon, and Manny Sanders.
Fournette.
Burrow or Locke?
I have the same decision to make, and I'm going Locke. I think the Bengals will be competitive, although now I'm concerned they got issues in the offensive line. We know Pittsburgh's first in sacks. Their cornerbacks are banged up. We've seen Burrow play very well this year, but you got the weather, the Pittsburgh matchup, and Drew Lock has Vegas. And we know that they're not good defensively. it still concerns me that Locke has had 2 really bad first halves the last couple of weeks, but I have the same decision to make, and I'm going Drew Lock.
All right, we are going to jump over to Facebook. I know we're crowded in here, YouTube, but we got to get over to our other people. Flex spot, need 1.5 point PPR. Damian Harris, Salvon Ahmed, or Latavius Murray?
Oh, boy. Half point PPR?
Yes, half point PPR.
So it was Latavius Murray, Damian Harris, and Ahmed. I'm gonna go Damian Harris. He's looked good. The game script obviously is something that you worry about. I believe he's expected to play. He's practiced, so I'm gonna go Damian Harris, and hopefully he finds the end zone.
I agree. Fournette, Dobbins, or Gibson in a PPR flex spot?
Oh, it's Gibson. I know he's not catching a ton of passes. The thing is, when he is in there, Alex Smith checks down so much that he can still get 3 or 4. I think he scores this week. Detroit's not good defensively, so give me Gibson.
I agree. And Gibson, by the way, leads the team in touchdowns. He has 1 more than Terry McLaurin, so don't shy away from that. Detroit giving up the most points so far this year to running backs. All right, trying to go fast because these are disappearing for some reason on Facebook. Half point PPR, Swift, Edmonds, and Mike Davis. Need 1.
Swift, Edmonds, and Mike Davis. Wow. Gotta go Mike Davis.
Okay. I'm in need of a flex. Philip Lindsay, Robert Woods, Kenyon Drake, or Ryan Nall in a standard league.
Robert Woods, not even close.
Robert Woods.
Yeah, is that against Seattle?
Where are all these comments going? They're disappearing. All right. I'm sorry, Facebook. I'm going to try to find you. I'm going to jump back to YouTube if I can find the rest of your comments. Evans or Fulgham PPR?
Fulgham.
PPR with tight end premium. Melvin Gordon, Travis Homer, or Jared Cook?
I'd still go. Don't want to, but I'd go Melvin Gordon.
Half point PPR, Kirk or Darrell Henderson?
I'm going to go Kirk, man. He's balling. He's scoring every week. This offense is clicking. So, yeah, give me Christian Kirk.
I agree. Edmonds or Drake if they both play?
Still going Edmonds. Just don't trust Drake. Don't know how healthy he is. Edmonds has still had good games with Drake on the field. Now, it's risky because I did this 1 week and I got burned. It was the Cowboys game. That was Drake's biggest game of the year because game script went completely in the favor of Drake. This should be a back and forth game. So I still think that if Drake is active, we will see Edmonds. And Edmonds has shown he could catch 5-6 passes with Drake active. So I have this decision to make in 3 leagues. And right now I'm going Edmonds.
Standard league, Dobbins or Jamal Williams?
Dobbins. This is interesting because with the weather in Green Bay, I think Jamal Williams is a very interesting flex this week. But I will go Dobbins. And I know it sounds crazy because Ingram's probably going to be active, but there was a report from Jason La Canfora that they're going to give Dobbins the opportunity here. And this should have happened sooner. I mean, he's clearly the best back. Edwards is not bad. He gets what's blocked. He's not explosive. He's been good in this offense. But Dobbins just looks phenomenal, breaks tackles, and he needs to be fed the football. So I will play Dobbins here. And I didn't think I would have said this 2 days ago because I would have said avoid the Ravens backfield. But maybe they finally realize, hey, if we want to get better and win football games, we need to feature Dobbins more. So I will go with him. But I will say this, for those that are desperate, Jamal Williams is not the worst play this week because you got to figure Green Bay is going to focus more on the run. They're favored by 14. So, maybe Jamal Williams gets the entire fourth quarter to preserve Aaron Jones. But they still mix Williams in. So he's not the worst flex play this week if you're desperate.
I'm playing Jamal Williams and Scott Fishbowl and Troy Maine Pope. Those are my 2 running backs, and that's the situation I am in.
I have to check, but I might be playing both of them too. But your team's better than mine. My team is. Who are your quarterbacks in that league?
Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, and Ben Roethlisberger.
No wonder why you're doing that. Mine are Burrow and Stafford, so you know why I'm struggling.
Yeah. Yeah. I like my team. But I have Zeke on bye. I have Carson and Hyde that are both injured. Justin Jackson's injured. So, yeah, I'm rolling out Williams and Pope. So, wish me luck. Need 2, Chark, Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Rager, or Robinson. I don't know if this is James Robinson or Allen Robinson. Tom, can you let us know? Because that will change our answer probably. Because James Robinson is an absolute automatic start. Chark, Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, or Rager. Who do you like out of those?
Chark for me.
Okay. So Chark and James Robinson, if that's James Robinson. If it's Allen Robinson, right is back. Sit 1, half point. Hawkinson, Goddard, Shepard, Claypool.
You have to sit 1.5 point PPR.
Yeah. I don't think you want to play 2 tight ends, do you?
You could with those two, because to me they're top 5.
I guess you could.
So it was Hawkinson, Goddard, Shepard, and who?
Claypool.
Oh wow, yeah, man, that's tough. I would probably sit Goddard.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Need 2, Henderson, DJ Dallas, Devin Singletary, or Slayton, full point PPR.
Henderson.
I would go Dallas and Slayton. Oh, Henderson. I forgot Henderson's there.
Yeah,
sorry.
Henderson and Dallas. Slayton has done nothing since Shepard came back.
He hasn't. But you can't go Devin Singletary, and I didn't see Henderson.
I go Henderson,
so
Henderson and Dallas.
It's Henderson and Dallas. I agree. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to YouTube. We are trying to catch up, y'all. Oh, my goodness. PPR. No. Sorry. We did that one already. Can pick up Mooney to cover for A-Rob. This is Richard, who we were talking to earlier. Who do I drop? Rager, Myers, Hollywood Brown, or David Johnson? It's a 2-7 record, and he needs to win.
Oh, David Johnson. He's on injured reserve, right? Mm-hmm. So he's out 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. 3 weeks.
You need to get to 6 and 7 to have a shot. So David Johnson, he's not going to help you for the next 3 weeks. And if you don't get wins the next 3 weeks, you're going to be out.
You're not going anywhere anyway.
I'd cut David Johnson in that situation, yeah.
Gio, Fournette, or Edmonds in a half-point PPR?
Let's see. I'd probably go Gio. Now, I'd go Gio. That game's 4:25 p.m. Eastern. But if we find out Drake is out, that's 4:05 p.m. Eastern, then I go Edmonds.
Okay. Gio or Swift in a half-point PPR?
Gio.
Gio.
Yeah, he's got to get the bigger workload, and there's always a chance that he could find the. Actually, no, I'm gonna go Swift here. Half-point PPR.
You worried about the Pittsburgh defense?
And I mean, look, again, Gio's going to get heavy volume, but he's more valuable in a PPR. Swift's got not the easier – well, yeah, it is the easier matchup compared to Pittsburgh's defense. So I'm going to go Swift. And they gave him 13 carries last week. So maybe – I don't understand Matt Patricia because he's fighting for his job, but he's putting Peterson out there to plod and get 2-3 yards where Swift's more explosive. And I know Swift has dropped passes. He fumbled at the 1 last week. He was fortunate, went out of bounds, but Swift's the more dynamic player. So on a half-point PPR, I'm going to go Swift.
Okay. Edmonds, Mike Davis, Swift, need 1 in a half-point PPR. I think you go Mike Davis here.
Yeah, I was going to say you can wait, but you can't because the Panthers are – Yeah, Panthers are 1, so Mike Davis.
Right. Need 1 running back and a flex in PPR. Singletary, McKissick, Cobb, Renfro.
Oh, so wait, 1 running back, 1 receiver?
Yeah, 1 running back and 1 flex.
Okay, so McKissick is 1. Who is the other running back?
The other running back is Singletary, and then we've got Cobb and Renfro.
Oh my goodness, man, that is not good.
This is Anne. Anne is in the deepest of deep leagues. She brings us the grossest questions you can possibly imagine.
I'd take a shot on Renfro.
I would too.
Yeah.
Tua, Locke, or Cam?
Believe it or not,
Tua?
I'm going Tua.
Me too. I knew it. I felt that. I felt like we were both going there.
It's close with him and Locke.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Curtis Samuel, McKissick, and DJ Dallas in a PPR. I need 2.
I would go McKissick, and I will go Samuel.
McKissick and Samuel. Do you think that Samuel might be more involved? I mean, yes, he's been more involved. He's been more involved the last few weeks. But with Christian McCaffrey gone, are you concerned at all about some of Mike Davis's opportunity being vultured by Curtis Samuel now that they're using Curtis Samuel in a very, vulture-y kind of way?
Oh, yeah, it's realistic, no doubt. We've seen Samuel get some carries. We've seen him get carries inside the 20. So, yeah, for sure. And Samuel's that tricky player. I only have him in one league, and once this is over, I'll have to kind of go through it and decide what to do with him. But he's a tough guy to sit based on what he's done. But, one of these weeks, DJ Moore is going to actually show up and play football again.
Right. DJ Ingram or Rex Burkhead? I'm sorry, Mark Ingram. I don't know why I said, who's DJ Ingram, Jen? Mark Ingram or Rex Burkhead? Coffee. I need coffee.
I gotta go Burkhead there. I can't play Ingram first game back because we just don't know what they're gonna do. So Burkhead.
This is Ann again with her gross questions. James White or Malcolm Brown?
PPR.
PPR.
I'm gonna go James White, figuring their play from behind in this one, and that would lead to him being on the field a little bit more. So I'll go White.
I like it. PPR need 2. Fuller, T. Higgins, Slayton, Mike Williams, and Jamal Williams.
This is a case where I will go Higgins and Fuller.
Higgins and Fuller. Just jumped on me. Start Travis Fulgham, Jalen Reagor, or Justin Jefferson in PPR. I'm going to go Fulgham here.
Yeah, I'm going Fulgham too. They've said that he's going to still remain a big part of the offense. He's been good. He's making plays every time he's on the field, so I'll go with Fulgham.
I would say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Gio, Fournette, or Edmonds, half-point PPR, need just 1.
Okay, same thing said before. If Drake is out, Edmonds. If Drake's in, Gio.
Okay. Gio or Swift in a half-point PPR?
In a half-point PPR, I'm going to go Swift.
Half-point PPR flex, I need 1. Josh Kelly, Deontay Johnson, Damian Harris, Kalen Ballage, Salvon Ahmed, Malcolm Brown, Marvin Jones. Is that your entire bench?
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson's the answer. I agree. Need 2. Half-point PPR. Deontay Johnson, Tim Patrick, Marvin Jones.
Deontay Johnson for sure. And then I'm going to go Tim Patrick.
I'm going to go Patrick.
Yeah, Marvin Jones just hasn't been impressive. He just hasn't.
He just hasn't. It's been very disappointing. And I have him a lot of places, and he just ends up on my bench. Mayfield or Alex Smith this week? Ooh, I might go Alex Smith.
I think at this point, and again, you would have asked me this 2 days ago, I would have told you Baker, good play. Oh boy, but Alex Smith.
But the last time Baker played in high winds in Cleveland, it did not turn out well for him.
Yeah, and it was a good matchup against the Raiders too. So let's go Alex Smith reluctantly.
Yeah. Need 2. Chark, Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Reagor, Allen Robinson. Oof.
Allen Robinson and Deontay.
Yeah, if you can stomach waiting on Allen Robinson, if you can't stomach the wait, who would be your other choice? Chark, Ayuk, or Reagor?
Probably Chark. Ayuk's a good play too.
Gallman, Pope, or Ballage?
Gallman, Pope, or Ballage? I'll probably go, I guess Gallman, because you know his role.
You know he's going to get it. Yeah, I like Pope's upside a lot, but if you want a more solid floor, go with Gallman. We don't really know what's going on with Pope, Ballage, and Josh Kelly. That could be split 3 ways, and that's never good.
Whoever runs, it could be like the Colts this past week,
Exactly.
Whoever looks good, all right, we'll stick with him.
Now, Pope did look really good the last time he was out there 2 weeks ago, but he's been in concussion protocol, and, he hasn't practiced as much this week, so you can't know. Judy, AJ Green, Marquise Brown and Thielen. Start one.
Thielen.
Thielen. Do you guys set Anne's whole lineup every week? No, I have a feeling. I have a feeling she has about 74 more of them. Jimmy Graham or Jordan Reed in a 1-point PPR?
Graham, I think you'll see the Bears have to throw more. Now, there is a report here that they're going to be calling up Lamar Miller off the practice squad. Not surprising with Montgomery out. So that's another backfield that's really, really tough. So it's tough to start Lamar Miller because it could be Miller, Null, Patterson. But that leads me to believe, again, I think they're going to have to throw more. So I think Jimmy Graham.
Big Ben or Drew Brees?
With the weather, I'll go Brees.
All right. Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, T. Higgins, full PPR. I need two.
Give me Deontay and T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. Good luck today, Ann. Are we worried about Chubb losing full load due to weather and they playing it safe with his return?
No, I haven't seen any indication about that at all. So, no.
It's always been a split backfield there, really. I mean, Kareem Hunt is the change of pace back there. I imagine it will just go back to that. They could both be incredibly valuable today. I don't think it's like he's going to lose the load. In fact, they're going to have a big workload to split, would be my guess. So, okay, if Drake starts, do I sit Edmonds for Reagor, Moss, or Dobbins? Full point PPR.
No.
So you would play Drake and Edmonds?
Oh, wait, I thought he said if Drake sits.
He said if Drake starts.
He wants to play. Oh, so they're going to play Drake. See, I would play Edmonds over Drake still.
Even if Drake starts, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would still play Edmonds over Reagor, Moss, or Dobbins?
Yeah, if you're playing anyone in that, it would be Dobbins.
Okay. With A-Rob questionable on a Monday night game, he is now not someone I can count on to start unless you disagree. We do disagree. Pick two to start. A-Rob, T. Higgins, John Brown, or Tim Patrick. Now, of course, Adam and I have already said we're waiting on A-Rob. We do think he's going to play, but we've also both checked our waiver wires and made sure that there is a backup option. I have personally been able to move A-Rob into my flex so that I can also have a little more options. But, look for Darnell Mooney, look for Anthony Miller, but we're pretty sure A-Rob will play. However, completely understandable if you do not feel comfortable waiting and you need to make a choice today. His choices are A-Rob, T. Higgins, John Brown, or Tim Patrick. Adam, how would you go?
I would go A-Rob for me, and then it was Patrick and
T. Higgins and John Brown.
Yeah, and I would go with T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. Oh, somebody said they forgot Ayuk in that question. Not sure what it was. You'll have to give it to me again. Oh, would you play Ayuk over Thielen?
I would not. I like Ayuk. But I got to go Thielen. And again, I think this is a game Minnesota is going to have to pass a little bit more, too. I know their volume has been down. Dalvin Cook's been crazy good. The Bears have been good defensively. Cook, obviously, someone you start. But we're probably not going to see 200 yards rushing this week from Cook. And I think Minnesota will have to pass a little bit more. So I'll roll with Thielen.
Ayuk, A-Rob, Chark, or Reagor. Need one.
Again, I'm waiting on Robinson. A lot of people won't. So if you're not going to wait, then you can go Ayuk.
Agree. Chark or Marvin Jones? He's worried about the weather in Green Bay with Chark. I would still go Chark.
Yeah, so would I. And Jair Alexander is out.
Yeah, so that's a big boon for Chark. If Jair Alexander were there, I would be looking to pivot. But no, Jair Alexander, Chark should be good to go. PPR flex, Gio, Zach Moss, T. Higgins, Edmonds, or Reagor.
I need one.
I assume only one. They didn't say.
Gio.
Flex again, spot. Go ahead.
If Drake is out, then you can go Edmonds in that one because they both play at the same time.
Flex spot, half-point PPR. Cordero Patterson, T. Higgins, or Phillip Lindsay.
I'm going to go Higgins.
Going with Higgins. Let me just check over here at Periscope to see what's going on. We do not seem to have questions in Periscope. It's just Facebook and YouTube today. Okay, cool. All right, Adam, it looks like we are just about done with our questions. Let me check one more look on Facebook. Oh, Teddy B or Stafford?
Teddy B. I mean, Stafford is just not the same without Galladay. It's just that the offense just doesn't look as good. So I'm gonna go Bridgewater.
Yeah, I like that too. Watson or Big Ben? I would go Watson.
I would too. I agree. I think
you would. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, look, we downgraded Watson because of the weather, but Ben's also dealing with weather. Watson can run, Ben can't. And, again, Watson could still put up a good game. It's just that the ceiling game for him will not happen this week due to the weather. But Watson could still give you 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Maybe he can run a little bit. So that's why we lowered him, is because our expectations have to be lowered. But Ben is dealing with weather issues as well. And he's also a guy that's just not playing great. I mean, he's a lot of short throws, and he can get it done with Deontay Johnson and Claypool and Juju doing things after the catch, and the Bengals are down their top 4 cornerbacks, but I would go with Watson in that one.
Standard flex, Rager or Jamal Williams?
This is interesting because I do like Rager, but we talked about Jamal Williams. I think I would go with Williams here.
1, Jefferson, Johnson, Fuller, Godwin. Bill, can you tell us which Johnson? I'm going to assume you mean Deontay Johnson because the rest are receivers, so I'm going to answer it that way. Jefferson, Deontay Johnson, Fuller, or Godwin? Adam.
Is it PPR?
It doesn't say.
I will go with Godwin. No. Wait. I'll go Deontay Johnson.
I would too. Dobbins or Lindsey in a PPR?
I will go Dobbins and hope that this report is true. Again, New England's defense not the same. So I will go with Dobbins. Look, Lindsey has looked good. He's looked better than Gordon, but they still do not give him the full workload. Gordon is still the better blocking running back. And with Denver having been in pass mode the last couple weeks, that's why you still see a lot of Melvin Gordon on the field.
Drake if he plays or Melvin Gordon?
I'll go Gordon just because I don't know. Drake can go out there and aggravate this. The reports, it's not like, it doesn't seem he's 100%. They said they're going to test him in warm-ups. I think, like you said, I think Drake's been banged up since before the year. He was in a walking boot in the preseason. People forgot that. And watching him, he's not explosive. If you watch him try to cut to the outside, he can't get there. The defenders are beating him every time. So I think he's been hurt the whole year.
I agree. Packers or Bears defense?
Oh, we got to go Green Bay here, man. The weather, the rookie quarterback. So, yes, let's go with Green Bay. Even though their top 2 corners are out. King and Alexander are out, but, the weather might nullify that. So, but I'd go Packers defense. All
right. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for us. I know there are some questions that we were unable to get to, and that's awesome. Keep crowding the chats. We want to get to as many questions as we can, but when we can't, you can go to fantasyalarm.com, and there is a chat right now. They will answer all your questions. We will also go back on Facebook and try to manually answer all your questions if we didn't get to them on the live stream. We will do our best. But again, go over to fantasyalarm.com, hit us up in the chat. We will answer every question you have over the next hour before kickoff. Adam, any final parting words for today?
Just good luck to everyone. Just make the best decisions possible. The weather does make things tricky. And again, we have 6 games at 4 o'clock. So don't set your lineup now and walk away. Make sure you follow up to make better lineup decisions based on the inactives at 4 o'clock.
And if you like these live streams and you find them helpful, then you will really, really like getting access to all of our tools at Fantasy Alarm. And right now we have an awesome Black Friday special. $97, you get all the sports, all the tools, DFS playbooks, DFS lineups, everything, NHL, NBA, MLB, WNBA, NASCAR. NASCAR, everything until 2022 for $97. You can win $97 in one FanDuel, contest this weekend with the stuff you'll learn at Fantasy Alarm. So don't forget about that. And all right, guys, go out, enjoy your Sunday, and we will catch you next time.